gathered here to fill you with fear and give you a treat for your ears. As we invade your mind with our scary rhymes and some tales that can be gory. As you bear witness and sit here and listen to our poetic horror stories. Hello, P.H.S. crew, new viewers, and welcome new subscribers. Today, we are taking a deep dive into a dark water mystery. Houston, Texas, is a city that is known for one of the 8th wonders of the world, the Astrodome. It's the home to NASA, the Space Center, and also the city hosts the Houston Livestock Rodeo. It's the home of the Rockets, Astros, the world's biggest medical centers, and is the hometown of mega superstars, Beyonce, Carter, Knowles. These are the people and events that make Houston, Texas, a great place to live and visit. But the city also has its hidden, dark secrets. Houston is a sprawling metropolis and also known for oil products. But if you look closer, beyond the futuristic sheen, you'll find a landscape woven with silver threads, the bayous. These aren't just waterways. They're the lifeblood of Houston, a big part of the city. The silent narrators of its history and the unexpected heart of a thriving ecosystem. For over a century, the Bayous have been the silent partners in Houston's development. Think back to a time when Houston was a burgeoning port city, a hub of commerce fueled by the lumber and cotton industries. The bayous were the natural channels that made this trade possible. They carried the goods that built the city, connecting it to the world beyond. It was a symbiotic relationship, a vital artery that pulsed with the energy of progress. But the bayous are more than just historical footnotes. They're intricate ecosystems, vibrant communities of life that thrive amidst the urban landscape. Imagine a world where skyscrapers share a backdrop with ancient cypress trees, their gnarled roots dipping into the slow-moving current, where the calls of rare birds echo from the banks, and the flash of a garfish's silver scales breaks the surface of the water. I know that sounds peaceful and serene. Yet the bayous are a double-edged sword because of the horrors that lurk underneath its murky, dark waters.
Hello, P.H.S. crew. We have a question for you. What city do you live in? Let's start a conversation in the comments below. We are dying to know.
Between 2024 and 2025 alone, over 60 bodies were recovered from Houston's bayous. Some are accidents, some are tragedies of the unhoused, and others are the result of a city built on a swamp that refuses to be tamed. To understand the danger, you have to understand the design. Houston is flat, extremely flat. In some areas, the elevation drops about 1 foot per mile because the soil is mostly clay, which absorbs water about as well as a brick. When a storm hits, the water has nowhere to go but the bayous. These aren't natural rivers anymore. They are engineered drainage culverts. They are designed to move as much water as possible, as fast as possible, towards Galveston Bay. Think of the bayou as a giant funnel. During a flash flood, the water level doesn't just rise, it accelerates. Most people underestimate the power of moving water. For example, 6 inches of water is enough to sweep an adult off their feet. 12 inches of water is enough force to carry away a small car. And 2 feet of water will wash away almost any SUV or truck. But in a Houston bayou, you aren't just fighting the current. You're also fighting the suction. Beneath the surface, there are intake points, massive pipes, and culverts. When the water is high, these create a pressure differential. If you get pinned against one of these grates by the force of the water, it's called delta P, or differential pressure. It is physically impossible for a human to pull themselves away. You are effectively part of the dam at that point. Then there's what they call the debris cocktail. Houston floodwaters aren't just water. They are filled with construction lumber, shopping carts, and heavy silt. Getting hit by a log moving at 10 miles per hour is like being hit by a slow-moving car. The data from the Houston County Medical Examiner is sobering. In 2025, the number of bodies recovered from local bayous reached 31 by that year in December. So, who are these people? Often, they are the most vulnerable. Houston has a significant unhoused population that lives under bridges for shelter. When a rain bomb drops, those sudden 4-inch-an-hour downpour can raise the bayous to 10 feet in less than an hour. If you're asleep in a camp near the water's edge, you don't stand a chance. But there's also the turn around, don't drown victims. People who think their truck can handle a foot of water on a low water crossing. They stall, the car shifts, and within seconds, they are swept into the main channel.
But to no prevail. You could pretty much say Cinderella became their slave, but we all know how the story ends. Cinderella will be the one who marries the prince. But stay till the end, when we analyze what the Grimm brothers want the reader to learn. From Cinderella's sad beginning to her happy ending.
Houston is defined by its water. Over 2,500 miles of winding bayous snake through the concrete jungle. But lately, those waters have been giving up secrets that the city isn't ready to face. In 2024, 35 bodies were pulled from the bayous. In 2025, that number hit 35 again. And as we move through 2026, the discovery of a man's body in early January has reignited a terrifying question. Is there a serial killer stalking the streets of Houston? Or is the city's vast waterway system simply a natural trap for the vulnerable? The area around Sims Bayou and Buffalo Bayou has become the epicenter of a digital firestorm. TikTok and Reddit are convinced that math isn't matching. Since 2017, over 200 bodies have been recovered from Harris County waterways. While many are downtown near Buffalo Bayou, Sims Bayou, which winds through South Houston, it has seen its share of grim discoveries. Take the case of Kenneth Cutting Jr., whose body was found in the water. His family, like many others, refused to believe it was an accident. When he was found, it was discovered that he had medical hardware in his neck that his family claimed he never had. But the police believe his case wasn't a homicide. But the Cutting family believes that this is a cover-up by the police. Why do people think it's a serial killer? 35 deaths a year feels like a pattern to the public. A high number of victims are men, often found fully clothed. Nearly 40% of these cases are ruled undetermined by the medical examiner. Online sleuths point to the Rainy Street Ripper, a rumored serial killer in Austin, Texas. They argue that the Bayous are the perfect forensic sink. The water washes away DNA, and the muck that can hide a body for weeks. But if you ask the Houston Police Department, or District Attorney Sean Tier, the answer is a firm no. That is not it at all. Officials don't believe these are murders, but a tragic, perfect storm. The bayous are steep, slippery concrete banks. Once you fall in, it's nearly impossible to climb out. Many of the victims are a part of the homeless community or suffer from mental health crises. And a significant portion of these people are just accidental drownings. People who are involved in drugs or alcohol who have somehow fallen into the bayous. So, where is the truth? Is it a serial killer? Or is it a city failing its most vulnerable citizens? Tell us what you think is going on in the comments below. This will conclude Houston, Texas Bayou serial killer theory. We hope you enjoyed this dark and morbid deep dive. If you did enjoy it, then please like, share, and comment to let us know. And if you're new, please subscribe. Again, we are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers this year for 2026. Become a part of the P.H.S. crew. And since you made it this far, then why don't you click on the iCard? We have many original horror stories and deep dives you will enjoy. We appreciate and thank you all, and we will see you in our next video.